I am about to say the two scariest words anybody with a book collection this large can possibly say. I'm moving. Yeah, this is gonna be, I'm moving. I'm moving, and I have I think at this point I should say this out loud. I have surpassed 1,000 books. I'm 99% sure of that, but here's the thing is that you may know I have like a whole spreadsheet where I count all of my books and I keep track of everything that I own. I stopped counting around like 985 because I didn't want to see it surpass 1,000. So I've simply not added any. And it's not like I have a bunch since then, but I do think I have accumulated more than 15 since then. So yeah, I think I'm officially over 1,000, though I have stopped myself from counting to know that for sure. And I have to figure out how to move these. Help? If you've moved a lot of books like this before, please tell me in the comments. I have a couple ideas, or really I have just like one idea. First, okay, here's the thing. As a friend of mine told me that like liquor boxes and particularly wine boxes are like the best boxes for moving books, that is, because they're really sturdy, they're a nice size, and they're strong, but they're not large enough that you can pile a ton of books into them, which means you physically cannot make boxes that are like 70 pounds and then you can't easily move around. So like wine and liquor boxes is like the only tip so far that I have. I have in fact raided a couple of my local liquor stores to be like, hey, can I have some boxes? And they've given me some, but that's pretty much it. I have seen before that people use IKEA bags and that like IKEA bags are really great for moving books. I don't really know about that. I just vaguely remember seeing that somewhere. So yeah, if anybody has any helpful hints or tips on moving books, that would be great. If you know resources, pop them in my comments because I am scared. The nice thing here is that I have about a month. I'm going to do this pretty slow. I'm going to kind of piecemeal it here and there. But yeah, I have a lot of books to move. I haven't had to move in a hot minute, and so I certainly haven't had to move since I've had this many books. My collection has really, really exploded over the last 5 or so years. And so, yeah, I am having to deal with this for the first time, really. I don't have movers. I cannot afford to have movers. What I have is myself, probably a U-Haul I will rent, and I'm gonna con some of my friends into helping me move as well. But I will be taking you along for this, and in this video, I'm gonna show you like what we're starting with, at least in this section right here. But yeah, I'm gonna take you along for this. This is gonna be like roughly about a month, so this will be a multi-video thing of like how I'm doing and how it's going. So today will be the first. We'll do maybe a video as I'm boxing things up and as we get things emptied out here, and then obviously getting them into the new place. I'm genuinely so worried about it. I'm so worried it's gonna be so difficult. Like the moving the furniture and whatever is totally fine. It's this. This is what I'm worried about. I've moved many times. I have pretty solid packing and moving strategies for everything else, but like it's a number of things. It's the heaviness, like the actual physical weight of the books. It's wanting to make sure I keep them protected. Luckily, I'm not moving incredibly far, so I'm not having to like trust them being shipped anywhere. Like they will be in my possession the entire time I will be driving the truck that they are in, you know? So I'm worried about the weight. I'm worried about actually moving them from place to place. I'm worried about like packing them in such a way that they don't get damaged in any way, whether that's by like, they're not going to be in the truck long enough for there to be like heat damage, but just, I mean, this is not scripted, clearly. I'm just like stream of consciousness working through this all at once. I'm really, really weird. Like I'm excited to move. I'm really happy that I'm moving. I'm excited to have some more space in my new place so I can get some more bookshelves because as you will see in a second, this has gotten out of hand. I need shelves. But I'm really nervous about moving the books. So yeah, and I'll show you here. I'm going to show you kind of what I'm working with to start with. But first I'm going to preface this with a couple of things that have made the current situation get completely out of hand. One is that I've been looking for a place to move to for many, many months now. And I got really close to moving about 4 months ago. And then kind of things fell through at the very last minute. And then yada, yada. So I have been hunting for a place and like looking to move and very close to moving for many months now. And because of that, I have not really worried about like organizing a lot of the books. Basically you're going to see a ton of books on my floor and they're all on the floor because I was in a place where like I'm about to move for like the last 6 months. I've been about to move. And so I wasn't worried about like organizing them because I'm about to move. So like who cares, whatever, I'll just box them up and move them. And on the other hand, I can't put them in boxes yet because I don't want to jinx the move. So I don't want to box anything up until I like have a lease signed and I'm like ready to go. So that is what has led to the current situation. I guess I'm just going to show you. I guess I'm just going to show you how it's looking. Okay, so obviously there are the main bookshelves. This is where the bulk of things are. Relatively organized. Don't pay attention to the candles. That's fine.
However, then you get to this sort of table here that's just kind of, they just live there now. And then I have a TBR cart as well. But then, if you look at the bottom shelves, oh, they're all on the floor. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of books on the floor. Hang on, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. That's what I'm working with. Also, it was literally just indie bookstore day, so I haven't like taken these out of their bags yet. They're just kind of chilling. So yeah, this is what oh, and then don't forget those. Okay, and then don't mind the fact that my studio light is on top of it right now. But then I also have books here. So I have, yeah, that goes back there. So that's what I'm currently working with. This is the months-long problem I created for myself in my mode of like, oh, I don't need to organize anything because I'm about to move, and also I'm not going to put anything in boxes because I don't want to jinx my move. So yeah. So yes, this is my problem for the next month, is figuring out how to get all of these into boxes, and then those boxes into a new place, and then unpack them. And I don't want to think about it. I haven't wanted to think about it, but it's time to think about it now because I have signed the lease, I'm moving in a month, and I have to figure this out. I'm real nervous about moving these. Again, I have like electronics that I'm moving, I have furniture that I'm moving, I have a lot of other stuff that I'm moving. This is what is making me nervous about the whole process. I'm not looking forward to this. It's so many books. The bright side is that it's also gonna be a really great time for me to reorganize everything. I can finally do a shelf tour when I move in. I haven't done a shelf tour. Like, people ask me on TikTok for a shelf tour all the time, and I don't want to do a shelf tour because of, all of the mess. And I have the mess because I don't have the space. So now I'm gonna have a little bit more space in terms of like what I can, shelves that I can have. So I can do a shelf tour after this. I can reorganize everything. I can get my spreadsheet all filled out because I will finally get over the fact that I don't want to count up to 1,000. Oh, I get to get rid of a bunch of stuff. I'm super excited. I'm gonna unhaul a ton of books. I already have like more than 100 books set aside. That is not included in that $9.85, by the way. That $9.85 is already minus the 100 books that I have set aside. Honestly, those have been set aside for months, and I just need to do a big unhaul, like a big little free library run and donation run and all of that. So I have a bunch more here that are gonna get donated that I'm gonna get rid of, so I have a chance to do all of that. So like, it is a chance to like refresh everything that I've got, but mostly I'm really nervous about it. The next update on this, I'm sure, will be me boxing things up. I'll be really interested to see, as I'm boxing things up, like what I leave out, because of course I'm a mood reader, so I'm only gonna have them in boxes for, let's say, a month and a half. Let's say it takes me 2 weeks to unpack when I get in the new place. Hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully it doesn't take much longer than that, but let's say it takes me 2 weeks. So I have a month and a half where I'm packing things up, but I want to leave stuff out that I might want to read. So I'll be curious to see which books I'm putting into boxes and which ones I'm like, oh, I'll hang on to this because I might read it. Because it's a month and a half, and I haven't been reading very much, so it should only be like, I don't know, 3 or 4 books, maybe 10 if I'm having a pretty good time compared to my usual reading speed, or not my usual, my current reading speed. I've been in a big slump. Should only be like, I don't know, 3, 5, 10 books. I'm sure it will be a bunch, but I'll be curious to say which ones go on sort of like a priority TBR, because I'm like, don't want to put them in a box, because what if I want to read it in the next month and a half? Anyway, that's where we're at. That's what's happening. So next up will be some boxing of things, some what I'm leaving in and what I'm leaving out, some getting rid of things. So keep an eye out for future updates on this. They will be coming. This is going to be a process. See you next time. It feels like no progress. You know what I've unearthed? You know what I've gotten to? Book jail.